Welcome to In Tune with Reality, the stories behind the music. Episode 5, The Perspective of a Non-Musician. Hi, Jen.
Hey, Samuel.
I am so happy to be here with you today.
I'm so happy to be here with you today.
Okay, so for those who are listening to us, could you introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Jennifer Banks. I am the secretary of the board for the Vargas Foundation. I work for Generation Tux as the director of the customer experience. I am married to Jonathan. I have a beautiful daughter, Kylie. And that's highlights about me.
Amazing. Well, just a little bit,
Just a little bit.
Tell me about how did you hear about us for the first time? How did we find you?
Yes. Oh, that's a very interesting story. So my husband and I relocated to Michigan for the first time he had ever lived outside of the state of Texas his whole life. So we relocated to Michigan, and we happened to move into an apartment right next door to Lynn, who was volunteering with the foundation at the time. And she was just telling me about the work that the foundation was doing and invited me to go along with her one weekend to see you perform in Valparaiso, Indiana. Never even heard of Valparaiso, Indiana.
Me neither.
And I said, okay, let's do it. I think at that point we had chatted maybe once on the phone. I think so. I think we had already...
I think we had a Zoom meeting because she wanted to introduce us and she wanted us to tell you more about the foundation.
Yes. So we had met over Zoom, but in September of last year, I drove from Michigan to Indiana with Lynn and got to meet you in person for the first time. And it was amazing.
Oh, that's
It was
great.
amazing. So all the evening chats that she and I would have, we would talk about just what our experiences were, because I had never, I didn't know her. We were new neighbors, new friends. And so I would talk about my years of volunteering with Girl Scouts or what I did professionally and my education background and whatnot. And she would tell me about hers. And hers was music education and her volunteerism with different symphonies and orchestras, and now with Vargas Foundation. And so just hearing all about it, I was super interested. I also had a void because I wasn't volunteering with Girl Scouts anymore, and my heart needs a place to volunteer. So here I am.
There you go. So I was always so inspired by your energy when we first met and everything, because it was this wow, and I think that it happened so fast.
It did,
because we were just there in Valparaiso performing, and you came to the concert. We were able to talk after, and we went for dinner.
Yep.
And then suddenly everything just started moving, and then you became part of the board of directors, and we started working and helping others. So I want people to know, from your perspective, since you are not a musician and you are more in the world of the business,
definitely
and all of
not
this,
a musician.
and all of this work that you do, how did that concert change you? What was what you heard that was like, wow, this is something I want to do, or this is something I want to be a part of?
Obviously, I enjoy music, right? I've been to lots of concerts and performances over the years. But that concert at that music hall that night, I was watching you perform. And when you started whistling while you were playing the violin, I had goosebumps. I had never experienced anything like that before. And just to see the passion and the energy that you put into what you were doing, and Nicole, what she was putting into it, and how the two of you just kind of created this amazing moment, this amazing energy. And to know that this person who's standing on the stage creating this amazing circumstance is also trying to help and do this with children around the world, to give them the same opportunity. it clicked in my head. It was something that I said, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to put my time and energy and help and support. So that was the moment. And then afterwards, the first hug with you, Samuel, I knew I was home. We went and had dinner and drinks, and I was like, yes, my heart is so happy.
Yeah, I think that it was unforgettable. Also because it felt from the beginning like two hearts were vibrating and beating in the same frequency. So it's
Mhm.
like we were speaking the same language, even though my world is the world of music
Very
and your world is completely different. So
Well, I think those opposites, right? Sometimes I have a best friend. We are so different from each other, but we click, right? Like there's something to that opposites. My husband's very quiet. I'm very loud and boisterous. Just that opposite seems to work. And I think it's true with where our expertises are, right? We have that very differing backgrounds, and our brains work very differently. Mine is very logical. It's very like my brain is like a filing cabinet. I can go in and find what I need in my filing cabinet and pull out exactly what I need. I can put together a plan. I can run number, all of those things. But please don't ask me to sing a note or read music off of a music sheet or anything like that, which is not for me. Thank you. But I'll enjoy the music.
of course. And now that you are talking about these areas of expertise, how have you seen your expertise in the area where you worked reflected in the foundation?
So I really, really enjoy putting together a strategy. I think it's great to be able to say, these are the things that we have. These are the things that we're really great at. This is what we want to hope to achieve and accomplish, and then build a plan to get there. And so hearing what you and Elena talk about from a what do we want to accomplish? How can we bring what we're doing to more people? How can we not only support more individuals in the world, but how do we also support the people that we're asking to do the work with the children, right? Those musicians who are also the teachers. And so for me, that's the puzzle. That's where I get to be creative and put together a plan to help us get there. So we built a strategy.
Yes.
We've built some goals. We've put together some templates. So when we want to do fundraisers or we want to do campaigns or we want to put together a request from someplace, we've got those. We're building rigor in our processes to make sure that as a foundation, we have just a solid base so that we are prepared to grow at a fast rate.
I think that one of the things that marked me, that left a very big footprint, is like a memory of working with you. It was in our third board meeting, when we were trying to see what was really a priority for the organization, the changes that we have to do, kind of like assessing the growth that we have had that was exponential, and now looking back, okay, how are we going to support this much growth? And I remember, you will have to help me remember the phrase, but you said we have to slow down to
speed up.
Correct.
Yep. We have to slow down to speed up.
And
right?
that was,
we were trying to do too much.
Life-changing.
We were trying to do too much, and we didn't have enough focus on the things that would help us move forward quickly. And so by just saying, let's focus on these pieces, let's build an actual plan that can get us there, we'll be able to grow quickly. And look at us.
Yeah. And I still remember, because then suddenly we came up with this business plan. And then we had like 3 different templates with a structure and all of these things.
And goals.
To do the fundraisers. And this is going to help for this. This is going to help for that. And now having procedures and all of this very, very organizational type of materials that allowed us to consolidate that part of our work. And, it's like now we are here, we are live, we hear everything in our surroundings, and we ask, where are we going?
Oh my gosh, the sky's the limit, Sam. Well, really, you tell us where we're going, right? Like your vision is what has created the foundation and is going to continue to drive us into the future. Your brain, your imagination is so creative. You have such a big heart about what you want to do and how you want to help those out there that don't always have the opportunities to realize and to encounter the types of experiences that you've had, but you want to help get there. Those that imagination, that creativity, that is what's going to drive us into the future. And then I'm going to make real life plans to help those creative ideas that you have come to fruition.
Yeah, I think that that's one of the most amazing things about our team and the group of people that we work with is like, okay, all of these dreams, all of these ideas, all of these desires, they are there. You can see them. But then how is that applicable in real life? How do you see those things actually happening? And that's where you come into play. So I think that for all of those who are listening to us, it's very important to remember that, as you said, the sky is the limit. No dream is too big.
Right.
And when we have a vision, when we have these goals, we just have to make sure that we are surrounded with the people that is able to contribute from their areas to make this happen.
Right. And not even just able to. We want the individuals that feel compelled. We want individuals that are just led to be a part of this organization, because once that bug bites you, there's no going back. And so I hope that those that are listening, if they are feeling compelled to join, we've got room for you. We've got the space to bring in your special skills and put them to use to help the organization. So,
it was very amazing that during this weekend that we were celebrating the 3rd anniversary of the organization, some of the donors that came to me, they said, I love the presentation. I love everything you do. I would love to support one child, or I would love to get to meet the kids that have been impacted by the foundation. I would love to. And then we realize, wow, people want to be a part. They want to see where maybe the resources are going, where that money is going to be invested. And I find very fascinating to think, now that we're having this conversation, how can we make that possible? Because sometimes when you do a presentation and you have, a testimonial or something, that's not enough. It's like just one voice and you have all of these things and you hear. So it's like, we know how many kids have been impacted. Yeah. We know how many great things have happened. And then the question is, how can we make that visible for those who, like you said, feel compelled to support, feel like they want to do it, but they don't know them.
Right. Well, I'm sure we have lots of avenues that we can attack that with. Obviously, video, we're in a classroom setting, right? A virtual classroom setting. There might be times where we can do that as an invitation. If you're interested in seeing what is happening in our classroom, come take a look, enjoy and enjoy the experience of what's happening. You can see how our amazing musician teachers are helping and working with the students. Come to a board meeting. We'll invite some of our students to come and share some information. Just reach out to us. We have lots of ways to connect individuals. What else would you say?
Well, I think that by having this conversation, I think that we are also, breaking the ice for those who think that there is so much seriousness around this. Oh, the board meetings are for the board, or these things happen. I think that we are a family, we're a community. And for those who are listening, to know that they also belong, that they are also a part of what we are doing is so important. Because, I'm thinking that maybe every month or every 3 months in a period of time, we could like gather the entire population of the foundation, like the body of students, the body of mentors and volunteers. And let's have a chat. Let's have a welcoming. Let's
Love
say
it.
like, because we have so many new students coming in all the time that probably the new generation that just started this year, they don't know you.
Right.
And you have been in the board for a long time, but they don't know you because they just came to the organization. And now what we are doing is creating this platform where they don't see you as the secretary of the board, as this unreachable person in the sky. She's in the board. She's like, no. We are a family. We're closer to them than what they think.
Exactly.
And we're also closer to the community and to the audience and these people that wants to be a part, that wants to support more than what they think.
Absolutely. And we would really enjoy, as we write an agenda for a board meeting, to say, we're going to have these individuals come and be guest speakers, and then we don't have to do all the other boring stuff, right?
Exactly. So that board meeting is not longer, we have to discuss this.
No.
No.
We have totally elevated our board meetings.
Yes. And I think that's such an amazing thing, because that's what board meetings should be about.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course there is a need for a structure. There is a need to evaluate everything that has been accomplished and decisions. But,
absolutely.
But the actual growth, the actual amazing things happen when we have these exchanges, when we go through these experiences, and then there is this overflow of creativity coming, and then you hear someone that is, oh, wow, I'm so moved. And then you actually realize, wow, guys, what we're doing is important and is awesome.
Agreed. So I do like the idea, though, of maybe quarterly doing some sort of town hall almost, where we invite everyone to join, and who knows, maybe they'll get to see some really cool performances.
Yeah,
or
I think that's amazing, and we had that idea, and we are of course working to put it into place. You remember when we discussed to do this day where everyone could meet the board, everyone could meet, and then we'll have some students from different countries and different programs perform.
Yes.
I think that's a fabulous idea also for those who are outsiders that want to see what we are about, who is involved, and the level of musicianship.
Absolutely.
Because I was just having a chat with other supporters of the foundation and the people that made possible our 3rd anniversary in Valparaiso. And I was showing them videos of kids from South Africa, kids from Venezuela, Peru, Mexico, Argentina. And they were like, wow, but it's not just music education. These kids play at a very high level. Right. And I think that's very important, because these opportunities that we are giving, this platform that we are providing, is filled with so much quality. And I think that it's mesmerizing to see the growth of all of these children since the beginning. Like Elena, our executive director, said, we went from having 3 attendees in our first workshop to having hundreds impacted now, and a number of more than 50 students who are being supported in a weekly basis through private lessons. So it's like this amazing growth just happening in 3 years. And then you say, where are we going?
Well, that much growth for those individuals in 3 years is not just because it's music education, right? It's because what's happening with them is a holistic approach to their person, their being, making sure that they're emotionally growing, they're mentally growing along with their techniques, which is another I think something we don't talk enough about what happens with the foundation as well.
Yeah, I think that it's so important, because also during the fundraiser concert that we did in Valparaiso, a lady came to me and she said, oh, well, I read in the brochure that you also provide psychological education and that you have programs for emotional intelligence. How does that work?
Right.
And of course, the foundation is so much more than just music.
Mhm.
When we have these teams and group of people that visit the community and they work with the parents,
Mhm.
or when we have our director of psychological education working and doing one-on-one therapy sessions for students who need
Mhm.
psychological support, or when we have mentors coming to us and saying, I am working with this student and I think that something else is happening
Right.
at home.
Mhm.
How can we help the
Right.
student? And being able to be an organization that can provide this, I think that is very vanguardist. I think that's a word.
Well, it is exceptional. It is unique. And I don't know of many other educational resources that really focus on really the whole of the person rather than just their agenda. Our agenda is what's best for those students, right? And I think that that is unique, that is exceptional, and what really sets Vargas Foundation apart from others.
I also believe that it's something so, of course, it holds my name, but it's something greater than anything I represent as a person. When I see the organization and I see the work that we are doing, me personally, Elena, all the volunteers, all the
Mhm.
members of the community, and then I see the kids being able to achieve their dreams,
Mhm.
the things that they so much and desperately desired, then I realize this is what this organization is about. This is about them.
Yep.
And this is why I strive so much, because once upon a time, I was that kid. And I was that kid that was impacted by a number of people, by a program, by professors. And it really takes just one person
Mhm.
to change your
A
life.
life. Yep.
So I want for everyone that is listening to realize and to be aware that everything we do is for them.
Mhm.
And that's what, at least for me, is a trigger. It's like the reason why I wake up every day, and sometimes I'm like late nights working, okay, how can we do this better? How can we support this student? How can we? So I think that that's really fabulous.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think if you were to interview or have a conversation with everyone who volunteers with Vargas Foundation, that'll be a common red thread amongst all of them, is the want, the desire, the calling to help these students where they are. And that's really what this is about. Yes, there's a lot of classical music involved in it. Yes, there is an educational element to it, but really it's showing up for these students that we have around the world.
Mhm.
And helping them to achieve their dreams.
So I have always wanted to ask you, from your perspective, not being a musician, how is what we are doing, or not necessarily us as an organization, but in your life, how do you see music impacting those who are not musicians?
Oh, well, are we just talking music in general, or are we speaking
Yes.
classical
No, in
music?
general.
Okay, in
In
general.
general, because
Well, I
at the
have
end
a
it's the same.
21-year-old daughter, and from the moment she could speak, she has just loved music. Every kind of music out there, she just loves. And before she could even understand what the words were in the songs, she was trying to sing the words in the songs. I mean, it has just been just such an important part of her life and everything she does. She can't shower without music. She can't, she just can't do normal everyday things without having music on. And it has become her soundtrack. So when she hears a song, and I think this is true for pretty much everyone, there are songs that I hear and I go back to a moment in my life where that song was so important and it was pivotal. And I just remember, I can feel that moment. It's like if you smelled something that reminded you of your mom's cooking and you're like, oh, I feel my mom,
Yeah.
right? Like that feeling. And I think songs do that. I think music does that for us, and it helps us to remember things at a deeper level. Remembering things at a deeper level. Oh my gosh. I was in 6th grade, maybe, and we were supposed to learn all of the capitals and all of the states of the United States, right?
Mhm.
And you had to be able to do them in like alphabetical order. The only way I remember to do it was through song. And so you learned this song, and then you were able to do all of the capitals and states, in like a 2-week period, and you got it and aced the test. I still remember the song to this day. In fact, Jonathan and I were playing a game one night, and it was like a trivia game or something, and he and I were partners, and it said, it's kind of like that name that tune game. I can name that tune in like 8 notes or
yes,
whatever,
yes,
but
yes.
it's like a trivia. I can say this many capitals of the states in, whatever seconds. And so, like he was wagering against the other couple, and he's like, she can do it. She can do it. And I just started singing the song from 6th grade.
Oh, wow.
And I was able to nail it for our family. We got those points. Let me tell you, music, even though not all of us are musicians,
Mhm.
Absolutely a big part of our lives. It becomes the soundtrack. It's the things that we remember and just deepen those emotional connections to experiences we have.
Yeah. And of course, from our perspective, of course, music is such a human aspect.
It's
Because
storytelling, right?
It's part of our nature
Mm-hmm.
since the moment that we are born. Because the first thing we do is cry, and that's sound.
Mm-hmm.
And the primary means of music is sound.
Mm-hmm.
So it's so amazing that being able to understand that music is everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
in the sound of the nature, in the rings and in the singing of birds,
Mm-hmm.
all of these
Right.
things that is
Right.
in our, in our world. So it just reminds us that how can I say it? We are connected to it no matter if we make the music.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if I am a musician or not,
Right.
it's a part of us.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I think that's fabulous.
Well, I mean, if you think about, right, like talking human nature, right? So if you think about high school, right? You have cliques of students, so cliques of kids, right? You've got your emos, you've got your theater kids, you've got your band kids. They all have commonalities, right? In their, maybe the way they dress, the way they interact with one another. But I guarantee a lot of that is grounded in a type of music.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right?
Of course. It's like even the personality traits of people can be identified through music styles and genres.
Exactly. Yeah. So like people watching, point at someone and you could probably guess based on their attire, based on how they're interacting with others, what their probably favorite musical genre is. It's interesting how predictable we are, I guess.
Well, I think is how, I don't think it's about predictability. I think is how we are all connected, how we are all a part of the same ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's like, it's nothing like out of this world. It's like it's something that we all share.
Right.
So I think that that's where the power of music is being reflected. And of course, because we are classically trained, we chose classical music to be the music that we promote through the foundation and through our educational programs. But at the end, we have seen many students being able to perform and do other type of genres through the foundation. We have had students who want to specialize in jazz, who wants to do bluegrass, or who wants to do traditional music from their own countries.
Love that.
And what I love about the concept of classical music is that the only thing that we are actually striving for is for them to have the resources, to have the technique, to have the ability, the skills, the training, so that they can play whatever they want.
Right.
And we use classical music as a tool to accomplish that.
Sure.
But at the end, the student leaves the foundation with the foundation in their heart and with the resources and the tools that they need to do what they want.
Absolutely.
And it's like this student that is featured on our brochure from Argentina. He says that because of the training that he received through the foundation and the programs, he is now being able to have every single door open for him at the best universities and conservatories in his country because of the training that he had. And because of the pedagogical aspect of the foundation, because we are big on, you also have to teach, you also have to share what you know.
Right.
He has expressed to us that now that he's working with many kids in his community, he's teaching through his church, he's being a part and impacting people, not just through playing, but also through education.
Right.
So then you see this kid who has started at the foundation when he was 15, is now 18 years old. He's going to turn 18 and have accomplished all of these things. And these have been done remotely through online teaching, through online lessons and activities. We have not been there.
Right.
So that's the power of this universal language. And of course, the power of having an institution that has high level musicians, the quality of teaching, and this organizational structure that allows that to happen.
Absolutely. The amazing musicians, but the other part of it is the heart and the emotion that goes into the teaching. You can be really good at something and not be very good at teaching it to other people. And so it's showing up in both of those arenas at such a high level that's making that big of an impact.
And something that I believe is extraordinary is we are a multicultural organization because we work with students from completely different cultures and countries. And is sometimes we are a bilingual organization because it's English and Spanish, but every country and every city even, it has a completely different culture, a completely different tradition. And it's so amazing to see how they become friends through the programs. And then I'm in Peru, I'm in Colombia, I'm in Paraguay.
Let's meet up.
Or they get together on Zoom and they do their homework, or they do their lessons, or they play for each other. So we are building community.
That's
we are
amazing.
building a family. Yeah. And I think that some people ask, well, why is it not happening in person? Where can we go and everything? And I want to remind everyone that the organization was born during the pandemic.
Yes.
Because of the pandemic.
Yep.
And at that time, we were not able to attend any in-person activities. So understanding and having in the back of our minds that this was an organization that was able to provide a platform that did not exist. And for free, even less. Like never. Would never imagine during the pandemic teachers being able to help others, but because no one was doing what their normalcy was dictating. Everyone had the time to be able to be a part of this amazing project. So I think that at the end, music is that medium. And of course, our instruments are that. They are an instrument for us to communicate. And it's interesting to see how a big number of the community of the organization speaks the same language of the heart. It's like we are all connected. We all want to give back to the community. We all want to support. We all want to be heard. We all have, like we said, waiting with an open heart for someone to give us that opportunity, for someone
Absolutely.
to allow us to be heard.
Yeah.
So I think that's fabulous.
Just like you.
Noelle, just like all of us, just like us.
Yes. But if you've ever get the chance to spend time with Samuel in person, take it. It's spectacular. It's amazing.
We have to start doing fundraisers. Donate, and then you'll get a dinner for 1 hour with founders, some of our guests.
That's right. That's right.
An auction of a dinner.
It's worth it. Whatever you pay, it's worth it. It's spectacular. So lots and lots of fun being with you.
It's amazing. And just to wrap up and be able to put some amazing thought to what is coming. From your perspective and your unique experience in the foundation, what would you like to tell the community, the supporters, the people that would like to be a part but maybe don't know enough, or are trying to find their connection to the organization?
Well, I have a lot to say, but I won't go on for too long.
You have 20 minutes.
What I will say, there are a lot of questions kind of rolled up in there, but I'll start by letting everyone know that the way the Vargas Foundation partners with students is through an online platform, right? You were just kind of walking us through that. The foundation itself, and I said this last night at our concert, has been working with a shoestring budget for quite some time and has done some amazing things with virtually nothing, right? Like it's been incredible the progress the foundation has made with the amount of resources. I won't say what those are, but if you compare it to some of these other larger organizations that have some similarity to what we do, it's night and day the budgets that are happening. The organization easily could make more impact, not only in lives of students, but for those individuals who are teaching, those musicians that are teaching, that are volunteering, allowing us to help support them a little more, to give them more flexibility, more freedom, and being able to be available to those students is spectacular. So monetary donations are always, always appreciated. We want a budget for violin strings instead of shoestrings, right?
There we go.
Yes. Above and beyond that, though, if you are a musician, if you believe that you are being called to play, to teach, to help the foundation in that regard, please reach out to us. We would love to chat with you about becoming a mentor in the foundation. If you have other skills besides musical skills, reach out. We would love to be able to find a way to allow you to lean in and support the foundation and the amazing mission that we're working towards. Whether it is, you make the best cookies, we will package them up and we will sell them with the Vargas Foundation, logo on it in order to buy violin strings for students across the world. Whatever we need to do, whatever skills you have, we will find a use for them. So please, if you are at all interested, please reach out to us. We would welcome you into our home.
Thank you so much. I think that's wonderful. And I'm going to add on to that we also receive donations that are not necessarily monetarily donations. So if you have an old instrument, you play flute while you were in the band during high school, and you now are a lawyer, a doctor, or the profession that you chose for your life, and that instrument is just there in a closet, collecting dust. Please contact us.
Send it our way. Yes. We will put it to really good use.
And you will know that instrument that was a part of your childhood, that was a part of your years during high school, is now in the hands of someone that is dreaming to become a great musician
Right.
and is wanting to have the resources. And when I talk about resources, I not only talk about money, I talk about these instruments,
That's right.
these accessories.
Mhm.
So make sure to reach out to us, and you can always find us through the handle of Vargas Foundation in every single social media and on the internet in our website. And if you want to email us, you can do so by sending an email to info@samuelvargasfoundation.org. And that way you can have access to our communication team so that we will be able to reach out. Just before you go, Jen,
Yes.
because it's not every day I get to be here with you and talk to you. From your point of view, how do you see yourself in the future collaborating with the foundation?
Any way I can however I can do it, I want to, whether that's still secretary of the board, whether it is serving fruit at the next fundraiser, whatever it is, I want to be there for it. I just, the work that this foundation is doing, I want to be there to support it. I want to help as much as I can. So whatever that looks like, I'm open to it. I'm open to it.
That's amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. And I think that everyone listening to us can also feel that energy that we have right now in this beautiful room.
Yes.
So
And we're both wearing paisley.
yes. Look at us.
Sorry you can't see us, but
yeah, you'll
we look
see us
adorable.
one day. We look beautiful. So thank you so much, Jen.
Thank you.
And thank you everyone who is listening to us, and please stay tuned to our podcast In Tune with Reality, the stories behind the music. We are going to bring more episodes and we have a lot of fun stuff to share with you. So take care, and you are already a part of the Vargas Foundation family.